Welcome to Finding Wisdom with Magicus. Today I have Sandy Liu of Business Matters.
Business Today.
Of Business Today. Oh, we got to do this again.
That's okay. That's all right.
Of Business Today, and Phil Manners, producer of Phil's Game Shows. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Sandy, what is your show about?
Well, it originated. I tried to encourage entrepreneurship in the community, and I tried to bring on organizations and businesses that would be informative to the business community. For instance, the banks or your college business director that could come and talk about programs and things you need to try to establish yourself in business.
Oh, we definitely need that today in these hard times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like, do you go to different companies and you try to get people in there to?
Well, yeah. Well, previously that's what I did. I tried to bring on companies like the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce or the Business Resource Centers, and they have a lot of information for the entrepreneur, the business person who wants to start up a business, or he's in trouble, he doesn't have money, needs to know how to do a business plan, that kind of stuff. That's what I do.
Okay. What kind of businesses when people approach you for this? What kind of businesses do they usually come up to ask you about?
Well, they don't approach me, actually. I go up to them well, in a way, what I do is try to go, let's say, to the bank. And I ask the bank, do they have a program that could help entrepreneurship or the small business person? So they don't come to me. I really reach out to them to try to provide the service or the information.
Okay, do you cater to a certain specific type of genre, minorities, or do you cater to just everyone?
Well, minorities have one of the biggest problems in business, because most of the time minorities don't have the money to, they have the idea, they have the energy and the ideas, but they need a key thing they need is a business plan. And after the business plan, they need to perhaps know a bank that's going to support them, but they also need collateral, because the banks want to know how they're going to get the money back.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And then I was also thinking of doing a QPTV show After Dark. We were talking about that earlier. And
like
it was an interesting, it was an interesting conversation that we had. It wasn't really something that I'm going to do, but we were talking about this After Dark process, young women. We were talking about the movie, Taken.
Yes.
And we were talking about my perspective, or my idea of, I didn't like, the movie was very informative, but I didn't like it how the young girls that traveled by themselves. These were two 17-year-olds, and they went to Paris, and at the airport they had markers that took them from where they lived onto this prostitution drug activity. And I was asking you what you thought about that, since you're a traveler and of all over Europe when singing. What's your thought about that?
Well, the way I see things is, I know that what I'm about to say might get a few people upset, because I'm free-spirited, but like in anything in the world, if there's a market for it, people are gonna buy it, or people are gonna use it, or make some type of money from it. Not everything in this world, I believe, is not black and white. Everything is gray, because if you look up throughout history, nothing's ever been either yes or a no. It's always in betweens. People have their reasons for doing what they do, but as long as there's a free market in anything, legal or what people call illegal, because some things are called illegal, but it's only because the law doesn't like it. But whether it's legal or illegal, there's a market for it. People are going to buy it, and it's as simple as that.
Right. So this movie, that I saw, it's Taken. It was in Paris. So in your singing environment, were you ever approached by some of these After Dark activities?
Of course, Of course, when you're a singer, you always run into that.
Did you go after it, or you ran into it?
Well, let me look at it this way. Activity, for me, it just has a way of finding me. I'll be honest. You know about that, Phil. Yeah, you know about that. Your game shows. I'm not going to talk about that. We'll get to the game show
that, yeah.
in a second. But for example, one good example is Amsterdam. Amsterdam, as most people know, At least most males know. It's a place where everything is legal, including prostitution, drugs, and anything else. It's taxed by the government. The government makes some money on it. Everything is regulated. As bad as prostitution is looked and frowned upon in this country, it's legal over there, and it not only it flourishes, but at the same time, it hasn't destroyed the infrastructure of Amsterdam, which most people think that the moment you have prostitution, drugs, and anything narcotic, the moment they hear that, they're like, oh my goodness, the society's gonna collapse. But Amsterdam's perfect proof that as long as you can regulate something, a country or a society can flourish.
Well, I don't know. I just felt I was a little irritated at this movie because the young girls, and it didn't matter what color they were just young 17-year-olds being directed. That's wrong, though. It's different. Well, these young girls don't really grow up with that
I agree.
profession in mind. Somebody takes them and directs
they're
them into that.
abducted.
So that's wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong.
It's not after they're involved in the process that it's right. It's getting them involved prior to, which is wrong.
Yeah, see, the abduction itself, it's wrong.
Right.
That is the part that's illegal.
Right.
Now, the business itself, that's another story, because there's a lot of willing participants. This isn't just about, you know, they're having a girl. There's people that are out there willing to buy these girls. So if someone is willing to get something, then there's a market for it, unfortunately. You can look throughout history. I mean, we can go we can go back to the Indians, we can go to the Louisiana Purchase. We can go back then.
What happened with the Louisiana Purchase?
During the Louisiana Purchase, and also during what they call manifest destiny. This country had manifest destiny. It was the United States' destiny to go west. In order to go west, what you had to do, you had to kill Indians. You had to take over places that were not yours. Now, in history, because we won, it seemed like the right thing to do.
Right.
Even back then.
Polished off all the Indians.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that wasn't a wrong thing to do. But guess what? There was a market for it because people needed to get across. Railroads needed to be built. People wanted to make money.
Gold was the issue.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it happened. So for us to sit here and say, well, you know, this market is wrong, we got to look back at our own history and see nothing's black and white. I mean, the abduction part is wrong, but the market itself, as long as there's a market, people are going to buy. The only way to stop the market is to collapse the people that are willing to buy it. As simple as that.
Assimilation.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's like with your game show. If no one plays the game, what is the game worth if no one's willing to play it?
Well, yeah, that's one thing. But also back in the 40s or 50s, people were cheating.
Cheating
Ch-
what?
cheating on game shows.
Oh,
Trivia shows.
really?
Yeah.
Really? See,
The drama just almost got extinct.
Wow.
It's like here, they wanted ratings. They wanted to be the best show ever, just like what you were just
when you
talking
say
about.
cheating, see, I'm not familiar with cheating on the game show. What exactly were they doing?
Well, to get more ratings, instead of like these contestants who just drop out early during trivia shows, the producers were secretly giving the contestants the answers to all
You
the
mean like Alex Trebek and his what do you call that?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy?
Yeah.
He was a cheater?
No, not that show. There were other
Don't
trivia
kill
shows.
me because I like it.
Oh, me too. And we all know Ken Jennings, who did not cheat.
Who's Ken Jennings?
He won 74 games straight and won over $2 million
on
in Jeopardy.
on Jeopardy.
On Jeopardy,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that
Nice.
guy.
And that got a lot of ratings for the show, and that was all real.
Wow.
But I'm saying back in the 50s, they were struggling for ratings.
Oh,
So
okay.
if they like somebody who happens
like
to
someone-
have a good personality, or
Exactly.
maybe he was liked by let's say the
was-
viewers,
Right, exactly.
and they didn't want to drop them off early because they figured no one would watch anymore. They would keep that person on.
Exactly.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
So yeah, they fed him the answers, and
Wow.
it was unfair to the person who he defeated. It was like a game where you compete for points and trivia and cash.
Right.
And this guy was winning and winning, but they liked this other person.
Oh, okay.
So then they fed this guy the answer, and the other guy got upset, and then the lawsuit started. And that's when it leaked game shows are not real. They're feeding the answers to the people.
Oh, okay.
I see.
And that's
See?
almost wiped out the drama.
Wow.
Is that done today, or do you suspect maybe it's done today? 'Cause you gotta understand something.
Yes,
You
tell
gotta
the
understand
truth.
something
Tell the
here.
truth.
Now things are bigger because now we don't just have game shows anymore. We have reality shows.
Exactly.
Quote reality shows where people are actually competing, but the viewers are supposedly choosing who they like.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
they
And-
cheat
yeah.
on that too. I
And right
think.
then and there, it's like, you know, we're not talking anymore. Like, for example, Survivor. When I first saw Survivor, like, for example, in my opinion, when I first saw Survivor, I was kind of excited because I was like, wow, you know, you got regular people from all walks of life. You're all competing against each other, and the winner takes all. By the time we got to Survivor 3, everyone looked like a supermodel now. Everybody,
What?
everybody.
I don't watch it, but
I didn't see it.
Everybody,
I believe it,
everybody
yeah.
is now like some ex-actor. It's like kind of like
I never saw
Right.
that.
you know, and it's amazing. Like
Survivor.
reality show, the general purpose of reality show is to see realism. I mean, that's why they call it reality shows.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
But if you look at reality shows now, it went from let's have regular people who've never done anything but just simply try to compete in a show,
Right.
to now you have everyone looking like a supermodel. There's no, you know, and unfortunately,
You're right.
that's what
Absolutely
is.
right.
And now, what used to be reality is now scripted reality.
Scripted reality. That's a
You
good
know,
one.
wow.
Which is sad because now you're back to what you were saying. I'm not saying it's as extreme,
Yeah.
but if you think about it, with the money that's involved today compared to back
Back
then,
then, yeah,
you
yeah.
have to make sure that your show goes on. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually
Wow.
happening.
Yeah.
So is this a real show that you can sing? I mean, you got this mic in your hand. Can you really sing, or
He
is going to
looks-
be?
he mentioned
it's
that he
gonna
was
be
a
some
singer, and then
music coming
trouble
from
followed him around.
Yeah, I can sing. You know,
Can you really?
I can
Yeah.
really sing.
Do we have to judge him? We can say if he can sing.
Well, you
yeah,
know what?
and this really is not scripted. So
Yeah, you know what? Let's have our own kind of like American Idol thing.
Okay,
going.
there we go.
Good, good.
All right. Yeah.
Do we press a button if we don't like it?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna play like communism. There is no button. Fidel Castro lives here. You
Okay, no.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, guys, you can put the music.
All right.
Put the music.
All right.
Querida, no creo lo que me dice a mí. Tantos años junto amándote a ti. Ahora me dices que no estás feliz y que te quieres ir. Oh, te quieres ir. Piénsalo bien. Esta decisión no lo puedo comprender. Apenas de todo, siempre fui fiel. Me estás matando a mí, no me quiero despedir. No me quiero ir, no me dejes ir, mujer, porque si tú te vas, te juro nunca voy a volver. El amor no lo debes maltratar. Tú lo sabes que me amas, me vas a extrañar. No me dejes ir. No me dejes ir, mujer. Y te digo por qué. Tú eres todo lo que necesito y yo te amo. ¿Cómo te puedo convencer? Oye mi voz, trata de entender. Por favor, cree en mí. Por favor, cree en mí. No me dejes ir. No me dejes ir, mujer. Porque si tú te vas, te juro nunca voy a volver. El amor no lo debes dejas ir, yo no sé cómo yo voy a poder vivir. Mírame en mis ojos y ve que lo que yo digo es verdad, es verdad.
No me dejes ir, no me dejes ir, mujer, porque si tú te vas, te juro nunca voy a volver. El amor no lo debes maltratar. Tú lo sabes que me amas, me vas a extrañar. No me dejes ir, no me dejes ir, mujer. Y te digo por la última vez, tú eres todo lo que necesito y yo te amo. Tú eres todo lo que necesito y yo te amo.
All right, that was brilliant. That was great. What did you think, Sandy?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
You've done this singing all over the. Where have you actually?
Yeah.
Where have you sang? Actually?
Well, I've sung all over, up and down the East Coast. I've done some shows in Europe. I'm about to do a show on December 14th to 22nd in Cancun, Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Can you got to bring your friends down?
Now I gotta bring my wife because I can't.
She has
you know, trust me. When I first told her I was gonna perform in Cancun, she was like, "Cancun, where?
Where,
Cancun,
right.
New York."
You're right.
And I was like, "I know Cancun, Mexico." She goes, "You know, you're not going by yourself." I'm like, "Yeah, I know that. I got your ticket."
Fabulous. And how do they receive you when these other countries? How do they?
They, believe it or not, they receive the American artist like a rock star. I mean, I get received well here in the United States very well, but down there it's a whole different feeling. It's like, to them it's kind of like the way the Rolling Stones, I guess, is to
Really?
us, when like the Beatles, where they came here, people went
Right,
crazy.
wow,
It's
wow.
crazy out there when you go to Europe.
Wow, it's amazing. So what was that last song about? You know, if some of us don't speak Spanish.
Okay, the song that I just sang is called No Me Dejes Ir, Mujer, which is Please Don't Leave Me. I wrote that song based, you know, like to commemorate a friend of mine who his girlfriend was leaving him, and he didn't know how to tell her to please stay. And,
Okay.
and that's where that came about. Anyone who's ever, and most of us guys, yes, we mess up a lot. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie. But any guy who's ever has lost a girlfriend or is about to lose one would definitely relate to this song.
Oh,
Nice,
okay.
very nice.
Right,
Oh.
right. Do you write all of your own material?
Yes, I do. I'm lucky that, I mean, I call it luck or a gift that I'm able to write my own material, and
Wow.
I can
Takes
write about
talent.
any topic.
Right,
you know?
right.
It's not
right,
easy.
wow.
Looks
And
easy.
It's funny. People tell me it's not easy, but it just comes to
you.
me, I
Yeah,
guess. And
sometimes. What about hip hop? What do you like? Do you like hip hop?
yes, I like all types of music. I'm extreme. I can go from hip hop to Chopin.
Really?
You know, I can go from
That's a
hip hop
big
to
range.
Chopin.
Not everyone can do
you know,
that.
and I believe all world music is music is universal.
Wow.
So you have to keep yourself open to all types of music, because every music has its beautiful aspect. You just got to have an open mind, like
Yeah.
anything.
Do you think our boy Jackson, Michael Jackson, what do you think about him? Was he the king of pop, or he was the king of pop? What?
I think he was a genius.
Right. There you
Because
go.
see, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people are always arguing. Like I remember people just tell me, "Oh, Michael Jackson, he's just an entertainer.
Okay.
He's not a real singer, whatever." But you know what? Singing is singing, and entertainment they're two different aspects. That you need both in order to move a person with emotion, feelings, whatever it
Right.
may be.
Okay.
I mean, he has an appealing voice. And I always say, you don't have to be the best singer in the world, but if your voice is appealing and you get your message across, you are a singer and you're an entertainer.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. I think he's a genius, and that's why the world will always remember him.
Oh,
Yeah.
No
yeah.
matter
Voice and
no matter
attitude.
whatever happened in his
Attitude.
private life
Yeah.
or public life, he will always, without a doubt, will always be remembered for the music and the joy
Oh,
he has
yeah.
brought
Oh,
millions.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think it's potential for me? Ha 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 ha.
There's always potential for everybody. Let me tell you, there's always
Everybody has potential, right?
everyone has potential, and also
See?
there's this
True,
thing that they,
I'm not-
but now
they just
they,
paid me to say that. No.
but now they have this one thing that everyone can use as a device that
auto-tune.
actually enhances your vocals to make you sound like anybody or anyone.
Oh,
Really?
like singing
now-
in the shower, pretty much.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, pretty much. They can actually take someone's voice and alter it and make you sound better.
Really?
A lot of artists are using it today. You know, a lot of people are against it, but some of the most popular artists are using it and
Yeah.
they're making millions.
Welcome to the 21st
Really?
century.
Yes.
So that's just like cheating in the game.
Exactly.
shows, right?
Exactly. There
Because
you
see,
go.
now everything's about marketing. It's no
Yeah.
longer about the music anymore. I mean, where before we used to listen to all the doo-wops. I mean, I wasn't alive during that time, but I do hear all types of music. You hear doo-wop, everyone sings, and it's all there. You
Yeah.
hear it. Either you have it or you don't. Nowadays, they can take any pretty face that looks good, and
Wow.
as long as
Wow.
everybody wants to be looking like that person, you can
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can just market the voice, and before you know it, you know. Have you ever heard of
big thing.
a song called "I Got the Power"?
Oh,
It,
No.
yeah.
Go
the-
ahead.
it was an
Sing
old.
it.
Well, the original singer, they used to sing the hook, which is "I got the power."
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was
right.
a heavy set woman,
That's right.
and they took her out of the clip and put a thin, good-looking woman
What?
just to market the song.
Really? I didn't know that. I knew that she was big.
She was a big
wow,
woman, but they
really?
took her. If you look at the video, and if you look at the first original videos that came out until people started complaining, it wasn't her. It was a thin,
Wow.
good-looking,
gonna look this up.
voluptuous, voluptuous
YouTube.
African woman going, "I got the power," and they thought it was her, and it was really a heavy-set woman
Wow.
Wow.
who was a church singer.
Wow.
And they said, no, we can't have her there because, you know, it's just not she's not marketable enough. Let's have her voice because she has a great voice, but let's not. And that's where we've come to. Look what happened in the last Olympic Games with that little Asian girl, where they took her out and they put a good-looking Asian girl to sing the
National anthem.
Asian national anthem, and it ended up being a girl who wasn't as appealing. But the government said they had the right to do this because they're on the world stage. So you see, and they put a good-looking model,
Right.
Asian model,
Yeah, I
to
can't
lip sync the
Yeah.
song. And the poor girl was in shambles because they told her and her family, no, we can't put your daughter
Wow.
because,
Wow.
I mean, how you scar a kid like that? But
Yeah,
that's just the
exactly.
way it is,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And
She didn't
pe-
get paid. She didn't get paid for that.
No, she got paid, but the truth of the matter is that she felt, you know, kids are kids.
Right.
And,
True.
and
They want their little.
and the kid was like around 11 years old, you know, and kids get scarred
Wow.
by anything that
Sure.
is said to them.
Sure.
For you to tell a kid, listen, we're not gonna, even though you're singing, we don't want you on stage because you're ugly, pretty much, and we need a good-looking kid.
Yes.
That says a lot to a
Right,
kid.
right,
You know, an
right.
adult
Breaks 'em up, yeah.
adult can rationalize business, but a kid
Right,
can't. The
right.
kid just looks at it as I'm ugly and they don't
Can't
want
work.
me.
Can't work.
Yeah.
You know, but that's why, you know, with the even with the music, it's a lot of more marketing than anything. It's 80% marketing,
2% talent.
2% talent, pretty much,
Really?
and the rest is just money.
Wow. So, do you recommend us to get involved in this business?
Listen, if
You-
you can
really?
get yourself somebody who can actually market you,
Wow.
it's a done deal.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
I like
For
the way this
anyone-
is sounding.
well,
And hey, it's
I'm
the
all
truth.
excited.
I gotta say, I'm not
you
gonna
know
say
who's-
it.
Let me tell you
Say
something.
it.
Show business sucks.
Yeah. The best example that I can think of today is a guy in America. I always forget his name. He's Asian. He never even got to the footsteps of American Idol. He got disrespected on national TV. William Hung.
Is that the
Oh.
one? Is that the one that
I
couldn't
know.
sing?
Yeah, William
one
Hung.
that
Yes.
sing.
Look
yes,
at
that's
this. This is
Okay.
a man that we all know cannot sing to save his life.
Right.
He went, they ridiculed him.
Right.
And after they ridiculed him, guess what? Somebody got the crazy idea that because the people felt bad for him, that there was a market for him.
Yeah.
He ended up singing other people's songs terrible, and it sold millions.
Millions.
What?
Do you know he was
Yes.
on the Forbes?
Yes.
This man was on the Forbes list of entertainers that made the most money. I think for the year after he was on American Idol.
What?
He sang Ricky Martin's songs
Yeah,
and
yeah.
sold more records than Ricky Martin's on his own songs.
It's true.
There's room for me.
Exactly.
I'm
There's hope for all
And
of
like I
us.
said,
Right here at QPTV.
and mind you, like I
Wow.
said, marketing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
market
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy. Before you know it, the guy had money coming from everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember,
Set for life.
and you understand this too. He's big in Asia now. Most of the world's population is in Asia.
Right.
You know,
right.
you count that. He don't need to make money in this country because he's
right.
got them. And people love him like he's a rock star.
Yeah.
And why? Because of marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah.
You're
It's
right,
not
you're right.
because any other given day that guy would have walked in anywhere else. Can you imagine this guy in the Apollo Theater walking in and singing at the Apollo Theater?
Ooh.
Can't no. They would have.
He wouldn't even get.
Death.
Yeah.
They
I
would have
think
tomatoed him to death.
he would have been grabbed,
Wrap it
but
up, yeah.
you know, it was
Thanks for
great
doing this.
having you guys here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It was a
yeah,
lot of
this
fun.
was fun. We got to
great.
do this again.
Yeah.
This is
Definitely,
great. Yeah.
definitely, Sandy. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure
Phil,
too. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Pleasure.
And like I said, you know, we definitely got to do this again.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And if I'm just, oh boy, I lost myself there. But I do want to say is this, thank you for all coming to the Finding Wisdom show. I'm Magicus. It was a pleasure having you here, visiting us, checking out our show, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. Peace.